it's roughly the end of the month again. I managed to read all of my TBR for February. I still don't know how I managed that because I've been on tour as well, but I didn't think that our hotel would have very, very, very bad internet. Yeah, here we go with the new picks for March. Since I'm going to work regularly again this month, we're picking, let's think, depending on what I pick, we'll make it 2 or 3 max. Nothing more, because again, I still need to be able to read them. So first, a book you had for a long while. Oof. What is the book I have for a long while and haven't read yet? Maybe something I bought. It's hard. This is hard. Oh, I know one. I found one. And that would be Witchy by Schwab. I think it is actually one of the first Schwab books which I bought. And that is quite some years ago now. So what I forgot to mention is I started reading The Raven Boys, and otherwise I would have picked that, but since I am still in the middle of a series, I'm not going to use them for the prompts. I consider maybe just going for 2 picks because again, I'm still reading the series. I just remembered that. So Vampiress. Geez, do I have a book which is not too thick to read? Oh, I have something else. A manga series which I bought a while ago, has a vampire, definitely, or vampires even, and I should read them. So we're gonna go for those 2. I'm trying to think realistically speaking, depending on if I pull one more thing, if I just go with another manga, or if I keep it at that. Okay, let's go for one more thing. One more, and I hope it is going to be a manga, otherwise I'm gonna stop it here. Okay, something fell. I'll use that. A free choice card. Let's use my free choice for an arc I have received, which is Twisted Wonderland. Wait, let me turn it all around. This is my stack for March. I think I'm gonna get through that, hopefully somewhat easy. The manga might not be the problem. I'm just scared that I might not get through the novel, even though it's a short one. But let's try our best. Good evening, fellas. It is the 1st of March, actually. And I still don't know how to feel. Because, let's be honest, I am tired. I won't possibly update the next days because I'm working until next Friday. I won't be able to record anything most likely because I'm going to be very fatigued. Because we got stock taking going on currently this weekend, so that is very, very, very tricky, especially to manage that while you also have like the shop is open and I have to work on Sundays and like on Sunday, and it's so weird because usually I don't work on Sundays. Shops aren't open up on Sundays, so you don't work on that. At least if you're working in my field as a bookseller or as any kind of sales person, that is your usual day off, but not for me this time. Today not today, but on Sunday we do stock taking, and I'll just work through the rest of that week as well. So, and Friday I have my day off, and then on Saturday I'm back at work. And the week after is also not as pleasant. I have the Sunday off and then I work again for a whole week, but I have the weekend off then. And after that I have usual weeks again with days off in middle of a week. It is going to be a little bit rough, and I hope I get some reading done. I'm so happy that I decided that my TBR consists mostly of manga, because I can read them at least in one day, or at least in 2 days in this case, because I am not going to get a lot of reading done when I'm so busy. And also because I am also having still the second book of the Raven Cycle going, and I try to finish it as soon as I can, not as soon as I would love to, just as soon as my body lets me, because honestly I am very fatigued. I'm not going to show, by the way, the books I get this month, most likely because I want to do a whole video. I haven't done one in a long time, and I am still thinking about where I'll leave my stack, because I'm getting some books throughout this month. Not a lot. I did some pre-ordering, but due to, I suppose you could say, some shipping issues, or not just shipping issues, but it's a lot of busy stuff happening also in the background, which is not shop involved, but most likely on the suppliers side. So it takes a bit. And that's okay. I am not in a hurry, and yeah, so I'm just gonna pile up the books I have or get throughout the time and just show them in a different video. I kind of want to most likely pile March and April together, because in April there are, or at least at the end of March, there are some new manga releases, and I want to get those done in one video before I go to Frankfurt in May. So yeah, so that at least one video is up until I'm back. Yeah, or at least I can just, edit that video and then be off and going. I'm sorry for yawning. I am just a little tired because I have no brain cells left. Today was rough, mostly because there is a lot of going on because of the stock taking, as I mentioned before, and because we have to kind of adjust as well to this entire situation. I've never done that before. Stock taking, it's literally my first year at the place I work. So yeah, I had my first time the kind of Christmas season in a bookshop last year, and that was wow, nuts. It was crazy. And now I have my first time stock taking in this company, so it is wild, because I don't know what is going to happen tomorrow, but I know I will be very involved on Sunday, and I will be dead. Because I have to wake up much more earlier than usual, and I'm not a morning person. I am not. Well, unless 8:30 still counts as morning, which is my usual waking up time. When I have my alarm clocks off, I'll still wake up at around 8:30 to, let's say, 9:30. So that is the usual time I'm up. I can't sleep longer. I tried before. I can't. I'm really sorry. I cannot do that. So yeah. Anyways, that is the updates for now. And I see you in a bit. For you, it's a bit. For me, it's going to be possibly a few days. So see ya later. I was stock taking today, which is weird. It is a Sunday, but it's the only day we could have done it. And honestly, we've got through it quicker than I thought. And now I have time to work on my horns again for D&D, which I've started in February, by the way. In January. No, February. Yeah, February. And now I can finally continue because we have a hot glue pistol. So this is the backside of my horns, by the way. But I can finally add the details which I've been drying for a while now. The flowers, I bought them, but that is from my own plant because I had to shorten the things. If you've seen February update, you might know that. And now I'm just sticking those things on. I'm still figuring out if I should put more flowers on it, because again, it's the backside and you don't see the backside when I have them on my head because you usually don't sit behind me. So yeah, I am stabilizing it with hot glue because I've stitched it, like I stitched the fabric, that thing, and the horns together, but I still want to have it at least a little bit more stable because once it's on my head, it needs to stay. I am going to paint that and hopefully it dries until Sunday. Mostly for us, it's Sunday where we can play. And I want to paint it a little bit in the style of this, so that it matches the entire thing. It's going to be my dyes tray so that I don't have to take everything of that with me. Hello everyone, it's 8th of March now. I'm waiting for parcel. I don't know if it is arriving today or tomorrow. But anyways, today we're going to work on a post for Instagram. And it is the thing L has, like Everell Books on Instagram, has tagged me in, and it's such a fun idea, and I really love her for just putting me in there, being like, hey, you might like that, and I'm just like, yes, because I do have ideas, but I had no motivation, and this seems like a really fun thing to do. So I'm gonna grab 5 books and try to come up with something which has at least all where they have things in common. I mean, I kinda have my bookshelf also topic, like thematically sorted. Of course, series together. I do not like to rip them apart, but yeah, coming up with 5 books and 1 line for them. So yeah, this is just a rough overview, and yes, you see my hand and my watch in the frame, but I don't care right now. So as I said, I have them mostly thematically sorted. Despite manga, I tried, but some don't work out, and now I'm trying to think of something. So while I'm trying to prep at least my blanket for a little bit, I know what topic I'm going for, and it is going to be Magic Forest. Why not? Because honestly, we love that. I do really love the topic of magical forests and woods which are enchanted. You can go with a lot when it comes to those, so I am still figuring out, okay, if I keep it like that or if I rearrange it a little bit different and add possibly maybe some decoration, maybe not. We'll see. I swear this is the last thing I record this evening and wait for it to dry, at least roughly, so that I can paint the inside. And I mean, tomorrow I'm just going to decorate it and hope it dries until Sunday. I started reading the New Witch by Schwab today, and it is so interesting to see this book because it's her first book, right? And I'm very used by V. Schwab writing from a third person. And this one is in first person, which is really interesting from what I've read so far. Of course, usually you still get a lot of insight in the characters in their story. However, here you get a direct glimpse into the character, if this makes sense. It is so interesting. I'm only 26 pages in, but I've started to mark things down because I really liked them. So far, I like the book, by the way, but I cannot really make a decision on if this is going to be on my top tier shelf of the Schwab's books or not. So what I've done now, instead of continuing to read, is actually I worked on some blog posts, or better said, I prepped some blog posts. One is actually kind of finished, but I want to have a little bit of a heads up from people, especially on Instagram, because I ask them there. I really love making blog posts because they kind of keep me, on one hand, they kind of remind me, okay, you've actually done that, you've mastered that, because I like to forget that. I like to seek for further adventures, for more, and sometimes forget, hey, maybe I should appreciate the things I've done, I've accomplished until now, until recently. And I'm so sorry for shaking hands. So yeah, and that is a great way to just remind me, hey, you managed that, you've written 2 books, you've, like, I've even published 2 books, two smaller books, you've, I don't know, you've read so much, you are currently reading a lot, despite life being so torturous. And I say torturous very lightly to me because it is just very hectic and stressful. To me, to my brain at least, it is very torturous. I don't know, it's also just, it is funny to me because it's not often, but there are times when even friends ask you, hey, say, how do you write? What is your working progress when it comes to stories? And I sometimes don't know even how to tell them, because every story I write has a different way of being written. Of course, I have a lot of drafts which I have not finished. I am currently building the sketch of a story. Or better said, I build the sketch of the bones of a skeleton of a story before I get to the skeleton and then fleshing it out. I'm just doing that because it might make writing a little bit more easier while I am tackling more or less a story which I had started a while ago. I considered also getting back to editing Isocast, but I don't know, there are ghosts, and I call my characters ghosts, who are simply louder than others, and there are currently ghosts who are quieter than others at the moment. And currently it's such a mishmash inside my brain. It is currently so much going on in my head that I don't know where to start, where to end, where to continue. And I'm still figuring everything out currently. But that is also, I think, one of the wonderful, even though it's really stressful, but it's a wonderful part of the creative act. There's so many ideas, and I'm just a tiny bit scared to not have enough time to finish everything. Even though I say I try to live forever. Whatever forever means for some people. Welcome to the kitchen. I don't know what to cook yet for work. I'm going to cook for 2 days, like for today and for, like not today, for Thursday and Friday. And yeah, I don't know what to cook yet. Possibly some noodles, veggies, obviously. Yeah. We'll see. So what I spontaneously decided to do is, again, chop the veggies, and I take noodles. At first I thought maybe going for rice, but I had rice today while I ordered food, and I've been a little bit disappointed with my food. Some cucumbers, leftover tomatoes, and that paprika. The thing which I don't really understand is why this thing is called pepper, but also this thing is called pepper. I think this is in American English. I like to call it still paprika because that is what you call it in German too. Just a little bit differently pronounced. You can even see it here on the spice. So, yeah. So while I hope that some of the water dissolves with cooking, I'm going to turn up that thing again, the fan, in a second. It is a one pot. I just want a little bit of the sauce to dissolve so that it do not show watery, because even though our boxes are pretty leak proof, I don't know, I would simply like it if it was a little bit less soupy. I'm gonna put it into 2 little boxes for work, and if there's still something left, I am just going to eat it tomorrow because I am stuffed. Luckily, I ate before I cooked, so. Well, it's another day. Tomorrow is, I think, the D&D session, but we're doing it, well, again, via Discord, but that's fine. What I'm going to do is cleaning up, especially that area here in front of me, which you can't see, but I'm going to do it off cameras, mostly because, I don't know, I have YouTube running in the background, but mostly because watching Jack build his dream library, home library, made me motivated to go a little bit and clean up the area, and maybe I feel also better after that, and I don't know, we'll see. You know what is so annoying sometimes when you watch people build bookshelves, reorganizing their home library. It makes you want to reorganize your stuff too. I'm pretty happy with how my shelves are currently, but I still want to buy one for the area which is behind you. A smaller Kallax one, yeah. And eventually, I don't know, maybe at some point I get add-ons for the top layer. Maybe just one stack. well, 2 would fit, but I don't think I have space for my stuff there. So maybe just 1 stack for there, and eventually 1 for my manga shelf, which is a little bit too beside there, so that I can still get my stuff on it. But I don't know, maybe at some point I will put this painting up on a wall, or I don't know what to do with it yet. I still want to fix it because it's not finished in my head. So yeah, the other thing is I'm going to do some unholding at some point again, because there are still books on my shelves which I don't plan on reading anymore, or simply books which I didn't vibe with. And yeah, but this is for another day. It's not for now. Maybe I will do it after I've returned from Frankfurt in July, not June, July. And yeah, we'll see. By the way, before I forget, I know there's always this saying of 1,000 books make your book collection a library, or worth a library. It's already, I think, around 500 or 800 books. I would need to do some deep dive again, but it doesn't have to be 1,000 books. I mean, you can go for 1,000 books. I'm not going to tell you to stop collecting books, please. If you like books, if you like stories, if you like collecting stories, whether you like them or not even, go for it. It's up to you. But yeah, personally, I don't know with how many books I will end up, because I count my manga collection to it as well, because it's a lot, especially because series take so much space. There are so many volumes to a series, and I kind of want to finish the ones I have started, unless those stories are on a hiatus. Like, for example, the manga Voice Rush is currently on on a hiatus for I don't know how long. I don't know if there's more volumes coming. I want it to continue. I really want to, because I really like the story and the background knowledge you get about voice acting. But in those bags, there are also books I want to unhold eventually. So yeah, we'll see. So let's ignore the cable management. I will fix this later. But it's so clean now. I'm going to work on my boxes later, but right now I'm trying to get a lot of packages which I have hidden underneath this bed away, which also includes I am going to toss them out. I've hoarded them long enough now, and I just want them to be gone. And now let's go to the paper trash. Well, it's the first time I'm talking again after a while now. It's been a couple of days now. We're running closer to the end of March, and yeah, well, I decided to cut my hair today a little bit. It's not big changes which I made. The funny thing is, didn't I get a hair trim around January, February, and my hair was like this long at the back, and that was trimmed with like trimmers. Like the hairdresser really went and made so that it's short. But yeah, I'm not joking when I say my hair is really growing fast. And I'm not even on tea. The thing is, yeah, that is one of the things where I'm like, once I start hormone therapy, I might need to trim my hair more often. Much more than I do. And I mean, I haven't touched it in a while now after going to a hairdresser. What I can also tell is that I need to dye my hair again. You can see my roots, the dark blonde mess that my hair naturally is, but not now. Now, after figuring out that this might be not a bad spot and I don't need to hold you all the time, I am almost through my entire TBR. I just have to retwist it Wonderland still, and I don't think I'm going for it today. Maybe on Thursday when I have my day off, or maybe just in between now. I thought of finishing it today, but I'm much more inclined of watching a playthrough of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, and yeah, just a little bit relaxing. I am trying to think of where my motivation lays today, as in, do I really want to clean up a little bit more, or do I want to wait until I have maybe 2 days in a row off, so that I can also, I don't know, just take a moment and breathe in between, so that I don't feel like too fatigued the next day, because again, I have to work on the next day otherwise, and I don't want that. The other thing is, I am contemplating about starting Kingdom Hearts again. It's been on my mind for a while now. I'm getting myself Kingdom Hearts 3 soon, and for that reason alone, I just want to restart the entire journey. Also, I heard there is going to be a Kingdom Hearts 4, but we have no further information than that it's planned, that there was some trailers, I think even over on the official side of Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, I don't know, I've been talking about that with my colleague yesterday, so I started to hit up that conversation, and yeah, he showed me a video about a theory about Kingdom Hearts 3, which I'm not going to talk about too much because I don't want to spoil people who haven't played the games and who plan on playing the games. Personally, I'm fine with spoilers, by the way. I am. I don't mind spoilers at all. That is the funny thing about my nature. There's just a few times, rare times, where I'm like, no, for once I don't want to be spoiled. But more often than not, I don't mind spoilers. Actually, sometimes I find it even more helpful to know what I get myself into, because it gets quite some of my mental, I don't know, drainage. Like, it takes away from that. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to start playing this game, Kingdom Hearts, today. I still have to finish Breath of the Wild, and I've taken my time with it. I'm almost at the end, by the way. I have maybe just one final boss game ahead of me, and that is the one with Ganon. And then I want to play Tears of a Kingdom. I've been stalling a little bit of time simply because I really like those games, and I really love The Legend of Zelda, I do. But I don't know, I didn't want to finish it too soon, if this makes sense. I mean, the game's been out for a while now, but still, I don't want to finish the series too soon. Because I also don't know if Nintendo is planning on more games in that series. Because honestly, this is one of a few series where I'm saying I don't mind if there is more coming, or if they put on, like, take the old games and put it also up on Switch. Such like they did it with Skyward Sword. They also I don't have a game yet, but I want to get it. I don't mind watching the playthrough because I really like it. But they did a lot of changes to, like, the entire handling and controls, and make it much easier to play for Skyward Sword. That is at least what Gabs is saying, and
I take her words for that. I really want to get Twilight Princess on Switch. I wanted it for years. I'm getting distracted. That is also one of the reasons why I don't do a lot of things today, because my mind is a little bit on the scatterbrain side currently. And I don't do it, like, it's not like I'm intentionally a little bit, I don't know, here and there. Anyways, before I talk much more and lose more threads of what I was saying or wanted to say, my day today is simply going to be simple as in watching YouTube videos, eating cookies. I still have some. Drinking lots of tea, and maybe cooking something up for the next 2 days eventually. But I can take with me to work, maybe 3 days, depends on how much I make. I see you around.
This is the fun part of this month's TBR reading vlog. I still don't know how to actually call it. I just want to talk really quickly about my TBR because I finished it like just earlier. Let's speak about the only novel on my TBR for this month. That was The Near Witch by Schwab, and it was such a intriguing read to me. Personally, I really liked it, tapping wise, and I don't know, it's something I can see myself returning to when I feel like it, especially for a witchy, shorter read. It's so fascinating to me because I've started my V.E. Schwab journey with The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue and then continued with Gallant, the first book of the Darker Shades of Magic series, and yeah, also finished or sort halfway through the Savage Song, and something which changed definitely from her first book to their other novels is in this one you have like the eye narration, you have the first POV of the main character, and you only get to see what Lexi experienced, you only get to hear what Lexi hears. All the information you get it just from their point of view. So this is something which is really interesting because you can you still follow mostly only one or two characters in Schwab's other books. However, you don't have the direct eye narration anymore. I think there was a shift to a third person POV or a third person writing, a third person narration. I'm slightly disappointed in myself because I used to be a literature student. Like, I have a degree in literature, but I don't know how to call it anymore. Anyways, it is so intriguing to see from what the shits were made, what basically was ground stone for the entire journey. This is going back to my little V. Schwab shrine later. We are straight up continuing with a manga series which I started, which is My Dear Curse Casting Vampires, which is interesting because following a vampire hunter slash also a vampire who is a vampire hunter with magic skills, and them trying to stop vampires from to eliminate any kind of human is really fascinating. I need to get the other volumes as soon as I can, financially. I don't even know how long this series is going to be. Yeah, my good guess is perhaps six volumes for now. Could also be 9, but I don't think this is going to be a really long series. Not like Yona of the Dawn or Tokyo Ghoul, which has like 2 seasons in manga,
both being roughly like 16 to 24 volumes long. Yeah, so I don't expect it to be such a long series, but it's going to be an enjoyable journey from there on. I hope it continues as good as it did with the second volume. And last but not least, Twisted Wonderland, an ARC I had received. I call it ARC, but it's more like it is a finished book which I received, which I got to review, and I will update my review later on the platform. Yeah, but it's a wonderful book. It's wonderful. I enjoyed it, and I am so happy that I bought the second volume like this month, because I can continue with that, but I have to wait for the third volume in German. It will take a couple more months, yeah, but that's fine. That's totally fine. However, I really enjoy it, and I still want to play the game, but when I heard that this game is out, it wasn't like available for Europe service or something, or in general there was no English translation, because my Japanese is no. I don't speak Japanese. I don't read any of these alphabets. I can't read them. I can't read hiragana, katakana, kanji. No, can't do that. I remember a few letters or like signs which I learned by self-studying, but that's been when I was very young. As in, I don't know, I was possibly 12 and or 14. It's been long. It was so wonderful. I don't know. The thing is, when I opened it, and the first thing is, it is colored. Like the first page you get to in my version is colored, and that is such a nice treat in a manga volume. And it's hardback. I really like that it's hardback. I don't know. This is not something which is done often with any kind of manga which I have, but it is such a nice treat to get something like this from time to time. I don't know, it makes it so much, it fits the vibes, if this makes sense. But yeah, so that is all I have to say. I am still very proud of myself that I managed to read my entire TBR throughout this month, because I was really doubting that I get through it, that I might push some titles even till April. The only thing I don't finish, and that is not my main TBR by the way, was the second book of the Raven Boys, or the Raven Cycle, better said. I am almost through it, but I know that I won't have the energy to finish it still in March, so it might drag on in April, and I hopefully start the third book in April. Maybe I finish it. I don't know, just a short announcement before I go. I won't make a vlog, like a video blog thing, you know, that thing, for April. I make it somewhat lengthy, but not as long as this one is. Just to highlight a few things which I've done through the month. Don't go into detail as I do like past month. I can tell you that from May to June I won't make a video, or at least not a big one, just again highlighting some things and maybe mashing it together to one video so that you get a little bit of an update once I am back. But again, this is just rough plans. So anyways, see you around.